years ago, I heard about Carmilla, a late 19th century story about a lesbian vampire, and when I looked it up I saw this image and immediately knew I wanted to read it. The first assumption I made, and I don't know why, was that it would be written by a woman. It was not. It was written by an Irish man called Sheridan Le Fanu, which did have me worried, but it was needless as it turns out. But first of all, as a trigger warning for the book, early on in the story there is a highly racist depiction. It is brief, but it is unfortunately there. But the bit that I thought was going to be the main issue wasn't, despite the fact that this book was written by a Victorian man and told from the point of view of a woman called Laura and about a female vampire, and it's a book that has lesbian undertones and, let's face it, overtones. I was pleasantly surprised. They both seemed like genuine human women with genuine human thoughts and not just fainting fancies. Although technically Carmilla does suffer from lethargy along with infrequent and brief bouts of mania, anger, and being very passionate, but somehow this is not done in a way that weakens either character or seems over the top, which was quite frankly impressive. Also, the men are not overly strong, manly, save the women types either, which was refreshing, especially after reading Dracula. As for the relationship between Laura and Carmilla, this is also compelling. You have Laura, who is both attracted and repulsed by Carmilla, both thinking that her feelings were wrong and something about Carmilla was off, but also that Carmilla is pretty and magnetic. And Laura is so lonely and taken by her that she doesn't seem able to break away from Camilla's hot kisses and pretty arms, until Carmilla mentions feelings of love and death, and it's always the two together. As for the story itself, this is one of those discover the vampire stories where the main character doesn't know about or believe in vampires. Although the locals mention an upire, which is a Polish derivation of vampire, but they don't seem to connect anything until the end. In fact, the many deaths are thought to be spread by plague, which is what the OG vampires were accused of, spreading disease and death, which is a reference to the great vampire pandemic. The writing in this is also top-notch, and Le Fanu is clearly influenced by the picturesque movement. Fanu himself described the views and location in some detail, but without overdoing it at all. The picturesque movement was a huge trend that sounds quite wholesome actually. Certainly a lot more wholesome than the eating the mummies trend at any rate. Basically, people just went out into nature in any way that they could to appreciate the beautiful natural landscapes and scenery, and they would write and paint and try to bring back some of nature's beauty into their own home. There is a loose end or two, like what happened to the vampire's companions? They just don't get mentioned again, which I'm kind of grateful for because they were problematic characters. And there's this guy that helped find the vampire's grave. He has this info on the grave's location, and I'm not sure if he doesn't act on this info because he didn't know he had it, in which case how did he discover it in time? Or he knew about it but for some reason didn't act on it until somebody came to fetch him. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something there, but it feels a bit glossed over. But overall it's a solid read with a really good last sentence that links in so nicely with the intro. It's a story that really stands the test of time, other than, you know, that racist element. So that's my review of Carmilla. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great time of day you're in. Stay spiffy and give ears to the notification bell if you feel so inclined. Doodles!